call is to be filled by him for the Holy Spirit to flow out from us and to transform the community in which we live. Now that leads me on to speaking about Weston Ark. So, Kat, I was going to get there at one point. Weston Ark is a new charity that 5 of us established recently. It's a Christian charity, and it seeks to reach out and support people who are living on low incomes or with other challenges within the local community. It is specifically faith-based, and we're not seeking to do things for people, but to enable people to do more for themselves and to build the community in that way. As we have waited on God rather than tried to do things at our speed, so that charity has seen God's blessing come upon us. We are 18 months old now, not quite, as a charity. And within that timescale, we needed somewhere we could operate. And we thought that was the Hughenden Centre, as we're labelling it now. Some of you might have known it as H Church, Hughenden Road Church, the Purple Sheep Centre. It's had various guises in the past. And we were offered the facility, the financial capacity to be able to buy that. But the church that owned it at the time said no, they didn't want to. So we thought, oh, did we get that right? So we just sat and waited, and then a few months later, that church came back to us and said, excuse me, would you still like to buy the building? So we had that provision of a building. Then we needed to look at how to use it and what to do in there and how it could operate. And at every point and at every level, God has touched somebody to bring the skills and the abilities that we don't have. So the first time I spoke about the charity in a church setting, somebody came up who's a graphic artist, a designer, who is now redesigning the whole of the inside of the building for us to be able to express what we're about and what's going on. At that same time, 2 people were challenged who have landscaping skills and have offered to design and lead the improvement of the outside area for us. Somebody came along who had information and communication technology skills, not my strong point, who's taken over and is dealing with all of those things and operating the website for us. And at every level, we've had some sort of provision. We want a community cafe at the heart of it, and we want that to operate when the food bank outlet is there. So there's the opportunity to talk to people about their needs and their challenges. We wanted a coffee machine. Somebody's providing us at no cost a £4,000 coffee machine. And then we needed somebody who would lead the team of people providing the cafe facilities there. And God touched somebody else who just came forward and said, I'd like to be involved. So we're very much recognizing if God touches anybody's heart here today, that this is something they should be part of, do come and talk to me. But I'm not trying to push anybody into it. There are lots of ways you can serve, and there are many opportunities to serve through this church. But if there's something here where God says, that's for you, then let's look at that and explore that and see if that's something that works. Weston Ark got its name from my first thoughts that it was a safe place people could come to. And then at a day of prayer, back earlier this year, probably back in March, God very much challenged us and said, no, that's not what it's about. Actually, this is about the Ark of the Covenant. When the Israelites came out of Egypt, God gave instructions for building the Ark of the Covenant. It's that which went before the people as they meandered through the desert, and then for some hundreds of years was in the temple at Jerusalem. But it represented the presence of God. So we see the challenge now as not being here's a safe place to come, but we are representing God's presence, God's solution, and answers for thirsty people. There are more things that we are looking to do there, but I'm not sure it's... just trying to think what would be... No, we are looking at things like Christians Against Poverty in their jobs club, life skills, money, things like that we would do. Money management particularly. But one of the things that we would most value, which you've done today, thank you, is to pray, because we want to work out God's plans, not ask God to bless our plans. We want to do the things that God is blessing, and we want Jesus to be visible, not us. So this mustn't be our creation. So at any time, if you feel prompted to pray that we would be able to see what God is doing at the right time and in the right way. If anyone was wanting to regularly engage with prayer for Weston Ark, we will keep a weekly updated prayer note on our website, which is westonark.org.uk. Or if you wanted to be more closely engaged with prayer support for it, then my wife, who some of you know, will coordinate a group that will get a little more frequent and up-to-date information about what's going on. But to conclude what I had to say today, I do want to stick with that question, is anyone thirsty? Am I thirsty, or do I think I've had enough? Is there more that God would want to give if we would just ask and seek to receive? And how is that going to flow from you? I had a note from some Bible or prayer notes that I follow each week from a Tear Fund team member with an unpronounceable name in Cambodia. And that is, my prayer is for believers to be empowered to address poverty, to bring hope and demonstrate God's love in their communities. And that's my prayer for this church and all that all of you are doing in your lives. Thank you.